It bothers me when people refer to dads as babysitting their kids instead of parenting them. Yes, there are dads that just watch their kids for periods of time and they're not involved in their daily lives, but there are many dads who are extremely involved and are actively parenting their kids. But this is the type of language that's actually more harmful than helpful in our society. It makes it seem like there's this low bar for dads just to be able to babysit their kids to be engaged. And for those who are actively involved, it diminishes the type of role that they're actually playing in their kids' lives. And on the other side of that, society predominantly places the responsibility of caregiving on women while historically devaluing the time, the sacrifice, and the work it takes to actually do that. It just isn't right either way.
I just left Target and ran into an old friend, and she's super sweet, like the sweetest person alive. And she was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe you have 4 kids. That's crazy. Like, how are you at Target right now? And you know what I said? I looked at her and I said, because I have a husband and he's a grown man and he's watching his own children right now, like he's supposed to, because I'm at the store getting some stuff for our entire family to benefit from. And even if I wasn't, he's a grown man, he's responsible, he's got it. If you're a mom and you can't leave the house because your spouse won't watch his own kids, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Daddies are parents too, and that's the hill I'll die on today.
Hey everyone, we have a special guest today. This is David, my husband, and a father of 2 kids under 2. For today's topic, I wanted to ask you, what is your opinion on when someone says, oh, where's dad? Is he babysitting? Just the term babysitter in reference to a dad, being a dad.
Yeah, I don't think it's my preferred term because I'm also a parent. Like, I'm also present for them whenever they need something, in their day-to-day life, anything, whether it's making a bottle for our little boy or making food for our daughter. I'm also there. I'm not just a babysitter when I'm alone with them. It's also, I'm a parent. It's my duty as a parent. I'm also taking care of my kids.
I feel that you are an equal part of this parent journey, and I really appreciate you for taking that role and being a really present and active dad in our babies' lives. What can you say to other dads out there that may feel like they are not appreciated as much? What advice can you give them?
I think don't listen too much about what other people say. Like, just do what you do. At the end of the day, it's your kids who see who you are, not what people say you babysit or you do this or you don't do that. So just be present for them, take care of them.
Opinion here, would you be upset? My husband texts me and tells me that he's not coming home for 2.5 hours after his shift, and that does not include 30-minute commute. No, it made me pretty.
She goes on to say how hard it is being the responsible parent and how jealous she gets of the lack of responsibility that her husband has and how he can easily drop everything and say, hey, I'm not going to be home for 2 hours after work. And he knows that she will have the baby taken care of. She goes on to say that he kind of thinks about her. He kind of considers her. But when he does, it's actually not really beneficial to her. It's beneficial to him, and she ends up having to help out anyway. That if she wanted to, she couldn't just say, hey, babe, I'm going to go for 2 hours and leave him with the baby. When you have to ask your partner to be a babysitter to their own child, that's a problem. When your partner is not considering you, your needs, and the rest of your day when making their own arrangements, that's a problem. Regardless of your status of whether you work or whether you stay at home, your partner should always be checking in first and asking, not saying, this is what I'm doing after work. Because like she said, she's been home with that baby 24/7 from the moment she wakes up. She is responsible for that child, and her husband can come and go as he pleases. Men are capable caregivers too. I ask my husband if I can do things out of consideration, not because I don't think I'll have anything for my children to do. If I have to run to Target, I'm going to say, I'm going to run to Target. Goodbye. I'm not going to say, hey, is it okay if, for maybe like an hour I might be gone to Target, and my husband go, ugh, I have to babysit? Because men are capable husbands, fathers, and caregivers too, and they weaponize that they're not. They put everything back on the mother. And this is a prime example of that happening. Men not taking responsibility for the lives that they have created with the people that they have created them with. Leaving the complete caregiving of the child to the mother and being able to go with no responsibility on a whim and say, hey, babe, I'm going to go out with the guys after work. See ya. Not saying, hey, I don't know how your day has been. How have things been? Would it be okay if I went out? Have you had a hard day? Do I need to come home instead? I totally understand if I do. That's consideration for your partner. And it's easy for resentment to grow in situations like this. She says it herself. She's jealous of his free time, of his ability to be able to pick up and go whenever he pleases. Anybody would be jealous of that, but especially a mom who is home with her child, caregiving for them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, who has to check, who has to make plans, who has to arrange for any little thing she has to do, whether that's a grocery store or her yearly pap smear. If this is happening in your home, you need to have a come to Jesus conversation with your husband, because he clearly doesn't value your time or your responsibilities to your family. Because if he did, he'd be more considerate in asking first before he just told you what his plans were.
So when your husband is home, not doing anything, he should be able to take care of the kids when you run some errands or go to anywhere you want to go to. But when your husband is at work and you're a housewife, you have nothing doing, you should be able to take care of your kids and not be jealous because he's not there to take care of the children. He's the one working, he's the one providing for you, and definitely when he's back, he should be tired and also need rest. When he's at home and he's not doing anything and not taking care of your kids, always complaining he's tired and all that, then there is problem. This is when you have the right to complain. But when both of you works, you should be able to employ a babysitter. Yes. But when you're a stay-at-home mom, then you should be able to take care of your kids. And if you want to run some errand or go to some place, you should be able, or your husband should be able to employ a babysitter.